So as the Director of Emergency Management, I wear several hats. Obviously, as you see here, primary responsibility is to run the Emergency Operations Center. So earthquakes and tsunamis are something that I'm very passionate about. I really got into this business because of that. I was directly affected and impacted by the Indonesian tsunami and earthquake back in 2004, and I spent several months doing response and recovery there. I'm a big believer that what kids learn in school today, they will bring home and they help educate their parents, and so on and so forth. And that really becomes ingrained in the culture. So I advocate for that strongly. Prioritizing in terms of where the epicenter is and what the time is between the impact of that storm. Response teams, those guys are geared up and they're trained to respond based on certain protocols. I would say there's not much difference in terms of how they would respond from a minor to a major. They still go through the same motions as if it was a major impact. So they go through the basic process of checking on personnel and equipment, look for damages, injuries, and things of that nature. So I would say, you've got to classify those into the basic trauma injuries that we do see. So head injuries, obviously from debris or slip, trips and falls and lacerations and things of that nature. Everything starts at home. I would say that the general message is what you guys are doing here today is phenomenal. Really just educating yourselves on what the capacity is. Now, we put out the general message that be prepared to be on your own for 72 hours. But a significant, large-scale, catastrophic event may last longer. It may last 7 to 10 days, whoever knows, however it may be, depending on how quickly responders can get in that impacted area. So what I would say is, know your neighbor, do the general basic stuff, have a kid, make a plan, be prepared. But for me, I think it's really important that you know your community. We have a cliche in this business where we say that the last place you want to exchange business cards is at the scene of an incident. You don't want to build that relationship and start right there when you're dealing with the heat of the moment, so to speak. And I see the same thing with the general public. A lot of times, we're very busy and we're active, we have families, work, a lot of stuff going on. When you come home, you pull the car in the garage and you close the door and you never talk to your neighbors. Well, I would equate it the same way. When you have an incident or an impact in your community, that's not the time for you to meet your neighbors for the first time. So it's important to know who your neighbors are, what the capacity is, what they do, and how you can help one another in a time of need.